we're going to jump right into our 2-color spiral. What you're going to need is 2 colors of yarn. Doesn't matter which weight, as long as your hook is appropriate, an appropriate size hook, and you're going to need 2 stitch markers. Now you may think that you don't. You may not be a stitch marker person, but I'm here to tell you, you're going to need a stitch marker. So let's jump right in and learn how to get our spiral started. So we're going to get started by making a magic ring or magic circle, whatever you like to call it, in your A color. And again, you can call your A color whichever one of your colors that you want. So to make my magic ring, I have my tail over my left hand. I'm taking it over my index finger, under my middle finger, and over my index finger. What's going on here? And I have an X. So I go under this part of the X, I grab this part of the X and pull it through, and I am all set to go. So I'm going to chain 1 to set my magic circle. And now we're going to put 6 stitches in the ring. We're going to make 2 singles, 2 half doubles, and 2 doubles. So single, single, half double, half double, 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 and stop. This is half of round 1. And you're going to put a stitch marker on there, which you frankly don't need for this second round, but you're going to need it for every subsequent round, so you might as well get in the habit. Now, if you're worried about this pulling out, I just extend the loop and leave it, but if you're worried about pulling it out while you're doing your thing, you can always flop it into your stitch marker to make sure that it doesn't pull out. Now, I'm going to continue on working in that magic ring or magic circle, but I'm going to change to my B color. So I'm going to put a slip knot on my hook so I can get started, and I'm going to make those same 6 stitches again. Make sure that you are not working over your working yarn. I know sometimes we do that in tapestry crochet or to make weaving our tails in easier, but that is not something you want to do here. So 2 singles, 2 half doubles, 1, 2, and then 2 doubles, 1, 2. All right, so this is 1 round. It has 12 stitches. So I'm going to tighten up my magic ring. I can always make it tighter later. I just want it tight enough that I can work on my round. Now I'm going to take a stitch marker and put it there. So I have 1 stitch marker at the end of my round, and I have 1 stitch marker at the halfway point, and I have this little wonkadoodle thing going on here, and this is how we're going to get started. Now I'm doing my spiral in double crochet. There's all kinds of different ways that you can do it, but I'm working in doubles. So I'm going back to my A color. You're going to go A, B, A, B, A, B all the way around. And let's do some math. I know some of you hate math, but here we are. When one makes a circle in double crochet, one traditionally increases 12 stitches per round. Now, is that a hard and fast rule? Is it going to be forever and ever for every pattern you ever come across? No. But I'd say a solid 95% of the time, if you're doing a center round circle in double crochet, there's going to be 12 increases in the round. So to make this math work, I'm going to put 2 double crochets in each one of my stitches. And I'm only working in double crochet from now until the end. Well, in my case, until the end of my hat. I don't know what you're making. But for the spirals, we're working in double crochet. So there's my second stitch. So we're putting 2 in each one. Remember, it's important that you leave this stitch marker where it is. And the reason I said you don't really need the stitch marker for the second round is you're going to stop this half of the round when you come to the end of the bee color, but it's still, I just can't tell you how much aggravation you're going to save in your life if you keep those 2 stitch markers consistent. Now remember, this is only half of the round. We're taking our 12 stitches that we had at the beginning, 6 in the A color and 6 in the B color, and we're turning it to 24. Whoops, lost my yarn over. Here's a double and a double. Extend your loop so you don't lose it. Now take this stitch marker and move it up 1. So I'm taking it off of here. These are new ones, so they're really tight. I'm putting it here. Remember, this one's my halfway. Now I'm switching back to my B color. And I'm going to put 2 double crochet in each of those first 6 stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Once again, I'm coming up to the end of the round. I'm going to move my marker from the stitch that it was in to this stitch right here. So now my second round is complete. It would make a lot more sense. Let me pull this magic ring a little tighter. So now you can see my spiral starting to build up. So this is what I'm going to do for all of the rounds that I want my circle to get bigger. Here, let's look at the one I did. Let's look at the hat. I'm going to increase 12 stitches on every round. So that first round I had an increase in every stitch. Now I'm going to have an increase every other stitch. I'll have 2 in one, 1 in the next, 2 in one, 1 in the next. The one after that, I'll have 2 in one, 1 in each of the next 2, 2 in one, 1 of each of the next 2. And then for this hat, I went to 2 in one, 1 in each of the next 3. I could make the circle as big as I wanted to by keeping that increase ratio. However, when I got it to be as round as I wanted it to be, I continued to work the spiral. I worked my A color in my B stitches and my B color in my A stitches, and I kept those stitch markers consistent, but I didn't do any more increasing. So when I wanted my hat to sort of cup down and be person shaped, I gave up on the increases. I just worked 1 double in each double, but I kept my color pattern consistent. So let me put another round on the swatch that I was working on, and I'll show you how to get rid of, to end off your colors. And just to be a little more clear, the reason I have those half rounds marked, I could count. I could do 6 repeats of my stitch pattern. I could say 2 in one, 1 in the next, 2 in one, 1 in the next, 6 times. Or I could watch television and not count and just keep going until I hit the stitch marker. So the stitch marker is a reminder of where you need to stop. So when you're heading in this direction, it's pretty easy to see where to stop because the color changes. But when you're working on a full round like this, it's not so easy to see where to stop without counting. And who needs to count, right? We don't want to count if we don't have to. So to finish off my circle, however big it is, or if I have made the hat and I have done all the side increases that I want to decrease each color down to nothing in the same way that I increased it. So when we got started, we did 2 singles, 2 half doubles, 2 doubles. To finish, well, to me, I've already got 2 doubles. I've already counted that. So I'm going to make a half double, a half double, a single, a single, and a slip stitch. And I can end it off. Again, this is just if I'm just making a circle, if I'm not making it part of a bigger piece. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And I don't need my stitch marker anymore because I'm ending off my circle. So I have at least 2 doubles in a row. We're going to go half double, half double, single, single, slip stitch, end off. And now I have my circle. So you can see that you're working half a round at a time, but those stitch markers help you make sure that you're working complete rounds. So of course I would tighten up my magic ring. I would go ahead and weave that in. I could weave all my tails in, but this is how you get started and keep going with a fun and colorful spiral in 2-color crochet. Thanks for joining me. Please like the video and subscribe for future videos, and I'll talk to y'all real soon. Bye-bye.